Okay, this is a continuation video of section 10.3 about perimeter. I was having some technical problems, so I paused and broke the video into two pieces. All right, let's look at 13. It says, a school playground is in the shape of a rectangle, 800 feet long and 400 feet wide. If fencing costs $22 per yard, what will be the cost to place fencing around the playground? Now, it is totally up to you. You can start out working in feet if you want to. We can do that. All right, it's a rectangle, and it is 800 feet by 400 feet. If I'm going to put fencing around it, I need to know its perimeter. All right, perimeter is, it's going to be 400 plus 800 plus 400 plus 800, and those will all be in feet. And that's going to give me 2,400 feet. I have a cost that is $22 per yard. I need to convert to yards. Okay, go back, think about what you learned back in chapter 9. You have 2,400 feet, put it over 1. The fact is that there are 3 feet in a yard. I need the feet to cancel, so my 3 feet will go down here. My 1 yard will be up here. Feet are canceling. That gives me 2,400 over 3. It's yards, and that becomes 800 yards. The cost is $22 per yard, and I'm going to multiply that by 800 yards, and that will give me $17,600. So it costs a lot to fence in that rectangle. All right, now the next questions take us into a different area of geometry. We're going to talk about circles. Just one second. The distance around a circle is called circumference. Oops. Well, that's very hard to read. It is like perimeter, but it relates to a circle. So the circumference of this circle would be how far it is starting here and walking all the way around it till I got back to there. There are 2 formulas for the circumference of a circle. I'm going to choose to use one that I think is going to make your math easier. I'm going to say circumference is 2 times the number pi times the radius. Let me define radius. In a circle, from the center out is the radius. In a circle, all the way across through the center is the diameter. And I think it is pretty obvious that the radius is the diameter divided by 2. And we might need that before we finish. Pi is an irrational number, and it is, we talked about in finance, we talked about an irrational number called E. It was Euler's number. Pi you're probably more familiar with. You are used to using pi is 3.14. It is actually not equal to 3.14, but it is approximately 3.14. So in your problems, you're going to be asked to do two things. You're going to be asked to find exact and approximate. And it's very important that you understand the difference between those two statements. All right, let's talk about exact. Exact means that you're not going to do any rounding. You're not going to use 3.14. So let me show you. In this one, find the circumference, the exact circumference. Formula, c is equal to 2 times pi times the radius. All right, circumference is 2. Just leave the pi. The radius, well, let's see. I don't have the radius. I have the diameter. But I remember that the radius is the diameter cut in half. The radius is 19 centimeters divided by 2. It is 9.5 centimeters. We just found from here out. It is half of that 19. All right, so I'm going to put in the place of the radius 9.5 centimeters. Now this, what I'm about to do, feels awkward. Exact. Exact means no rounding. If you use 3.14, you're using a rounded number. So I'm going to leave the pi symbol in my answer. I'm going to multiply the two numbers that I can multiply. And C is 2 times 9.5 is 19, symbol pi, and it is measured in centimeters. That feels weird because you're leaving the pi symbol in it, but it is correct. Next, you're going to find the approximate. Approximate, you're going to use 3.14. So exact always keeps the pi. Approximate uses 3.14. So you need to remember that. Same formula, C is equal to 2 pi r. So C is equal to 2 times the approximate 3.14 times the radius, which is 9.5 centimeters. I get out my calculator, I multiply those numbers, and I get 59.66 centimeters. And it doesn't say to do any rounding with that. And actually, this symbol, although I don't have to do it, the minute you put 3.14 in there, it is no longer equal, it is approximately the circumference. It's a rounded number. Exact keeps pi. Rounded, use 3.14 and do the arithmetic. All right. Let's do it again. All right, this time we have a circle, and the radius is 20 miles. Now that's nice because I need to know the radius in order to find circumference. So, exact. That means that I leave pi in it, and pi will be over in your tool palette in this My Math Lab. All right, C is equal to 2 pi r. So C is equal to 2 times pi, the radius is 20 miles. Multiply these two. C is equal to 40, then the pi, the units are miles. That's exact. Now approximate. When we do approximate, we use 3.14 in the place of pi. So circumference is 2 pi times the radius. It is approximately 2 times 3.14, that's what makes it approximate, times the radius, which is 20 miles. I didn't have to take half of anything because I was given the radius. So the circumference is approximately, multiply those out, and we get 125.6 miles. And that problem concludes our discussion about perimeter and circumference. Both of them measure the distance around something. Perimeter is a word used for polygons with straight sides. Circumference is used for circles. And the formulas are all in your geometry handout. All right, work on that homework assignment.